There's great power in prayer, even more in group prayer. This is the foundation of the Unity Movement and our church. Our prayer ministry has close to over 100 active participants supporting our community and the world. There's great synergy in us coming together consistently. Beyond our own personal experience with prayer, there's so much evidence to its impact on the collective consciousness. The Maharishi effect shows that if 1% of the population meditates, it produces measurable improvements in the quality of life for the whole population. The world is going through a lot of change. We must go to the unchanging realm of the divine and help co-create the best outcome for the most impactful event taking place. Let's join together to support this cause. Thank you for joining us. Your presence, your consciousness is summoned for humanity at this time.
Tell me a story of love. Tell me of heaven above. Teach me of peace here on earth. I can't tell you what that would be worth. Teach me to give of my heart and to be one with the whole. This without coming apart, and yet without losing my soul. Teach me to open my eyes, show me to open my heart. Help me to give of myself to the world. Teach me to teach for a start, and just take me into your arms. Don't shelter me from harm. Just take me into your love, and that would be more than enough. Teach me to open my eyes, show me to open my heart. Help me to give of myself to the world. Teach me to teach for a start, and just take me into your arms. Don't shelter me from harm. Just take me into your love, and that would be more than enough. Just take me into your love, and that would be more than enough.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, band, Tim. Well, it's another Sunday, and as soon as the heat releases us, we're going to move right into fall, yes? Happy Sunday, happy September. We got a really good one for you today. I want to welcome you to the service, including those joining online. And in my own words, we're just going to bless the children as we bless ourselves this morning, yes? Good, we bless those children. So the first order today is going to be announcements. The first announcement is going to be World Day of Prayer. Really, really important. Each year, Unity churches all over the world hold a 24-hour silent prayer vigil known as World Day of Prayer. As in the past, you can participate in person or virtually from Wednesday, September 11th at 8 p.m. through Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Please remember to sign up to pray and meditate for 1 hour slots or more. Our goal is to have participants for all 24-hour slots. So sign up today at the welcome desk or from the homepage on our website, unitytriangle.org. To begin the vigil, we will hold an opening service on Wednesday, September 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. You won't want to miss this reverent and meaningful service to prepare you for the 24-hour silent vigil. Also at the welcome desk are prayer lists to write the first names of those you wish to be held in prayer during the vigil. See the World Day of Prayer brochure at the welcome desk for all details. Yes? Okay. Chanting and meditation. Join Reverend Michael Gadway each Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 6:30 for chanting and Kriya Yoga meditation starting this Wednesday, September 4th. We will chant our way into meditation and then use the tools of Kriya Yoga to meditate together, diving deep into the ocean of consciousness. Workshops. Got some workshops coming up. Rev. Ana Quintana will guest speak next Sunday September the 8th, and she will hold a workshop afterwards at 1:30 on From Faith to Certainty. Please register for her workshop online at unitytriangle.org. Again, the name of that workshop is From Faith to Certainty. Alexander Technique Workshop. My friend Keith is here this morning.
Kevin.
Excuse me, Kevin. Sorry. That's the second time I've done that. I apologize. Kevin. Kevin Strike is holding an Alexander Technique workshop on Saturday, September 14th from 10 to 12:30. This workshop is returning by popular demand, so see Kevin for further explanations. Kevin, will you please stand up? One more announcement. We have open mic this Thursday, the 5th of September, starting at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. So come and bring your music, your spoken word if you want to do that, or just, just your support. All right? All right, it's offering time. So this is a very great part of our service, and we always like to give back to the place that has given us so much. So let us prepare. For those attending online, you can go to our website, unitytriangle.org, and just click on the orange donate button. For those present, card readers are available at the welcome desk in the lobby. Or you may sign up for automatic giving, and your account will be conveniently drafted each month for you. So I just want to thank all of you who've continued to donate and support our spiritual community. We are always thankful and grateful because of you. Will the greeters please stand to bless our gifts? Let's bless our gifts with the affirmation shown on the screen. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Have a great Sunday.
Good morning. So you might have noticed that this service is a little different than the regular one. Some things out of order. It was just a test to make sure you're paying attention. So this service, what's it called? Lessons in Song. So throughout this service, we're going to have 7 people do readings, and then those readings will be followed by song that we invite you all to gather to sing together. and I am the first. So, today's reading is on forgiveness from the Daily Word for Spirit, chapter 3, Forgive. Are you aware of the devastating genocide that happened in Rwanda in 1994? The Tutsi ethnic minority lived in country run by the extremist Hutu regime. When the Hutu president of Rwanda died in a plane crash, Tutsi rebels were accused of shooting down the plane. So, when the killing of the Tutsis began, people went into hiding. And this story is told by Immaculée Mbagazi, who was a college student when this conflict began, and she writes, "My parents sent me to hiding in the home of Pastor Simone, a sympathetic Hutu, while my other family members hid in other places. Pastor Simone took in 7 more Tutsi women, so the 8 of us were wedged into his second bathroom, which is only 3 by 4 feet. We would spend the next 3 months there, occasionally getting out at night to stretch on the floor in the adjacent room. To keep his 2 children from discovering us, the pastor told them that the small bathroom that we were in was locked and the key to unlock it had been lost. We listened to the radio that they put outside of the bathroom door and heard BBC reports daily on the growing number of Tutsis who had been brutally killed. Many entire families were wiped out. For 3 months, not daring to make a noise that might cause us to be discovered, we women used hand signals to talk to one another. And once a day, Pastor Simone brought us food and water, and we flushed the toilet only when we heard the other toilet in the house being flushed. Hutu killers once came to the house and searched. During the search, I silently prayed and said the rosary, and I held my breath when I heard the men approaching the bathroom door. I believe it was nothing less than a miracle when they turned and left, never attempting to open the door. Knowing that they would return, I begged the pastor to move a large armoire in front of the bathroom door and put suitcases stacked on top. Listening to the BBC reports of the genocide that was happening, I grew angrier each day. I spent hours imagining that I was a Tutsi soldier taking revenge on the Hutu killers. My anger grew. It grew to the point that I became upset with myself, and I questioned, how could I pray to God for help when I'm so angry? I believed that someday we'd be able to walk out of this cramped bathroom and start living my life again, but I began to question myself. How could I have a life if I were still angry and feeling the hurt that hating others caused me? How could I have a life being this angry? Once the Hutus were defeated, the genocide stopped, and we were rescued. I learned that my entire family had been killed, along with many friends and neighbors. Nearly 1 million people had been killed. I was told that one of our former Hutu neighbors was the leader of the gang that killed my mother and brother. I decided to go see him in prison, although I did not know what I would do when I saw him face to face. When the guard brought him from his cell, he stared at me defiantly. I wanted to be free of hatred, because I had seen what hatred of this man and other Hutus had done, when I quietly but sincerely said 3 words: I forgive you. I felt a peace sweep over my soul. The man's defiant look melted away, and he bowed his head in shame for what he had done. As I walked out of the prison, the Tutsi man who ran the prison turned to me in anger and said, "How could you forgive him? He had lost his children during the genocide." But a year later, I met him, and he told me that I had changed his life. He had been so full of hate and anger that he was miserable. When he saw what I could forgive and move on with my life, after all I had been through and lost, he knew that this was also what he wanted to do. Immaculate immigrated to the U.S. and continues to spread her message of peace, faith, and forgiveness throughout the world, raising money for her Left to Tell charitable campaign for orphaned Rwanda children. And she reminds us this: everyone goes through difficulties in life. It's important that we do not give up. I believe it's only when we have the peace of mind that forgiveness brings that we are able to move on and to live our lives fully. Now please join me in singing the next hymn.
Here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, and I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife, but my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
I'm at that age now I need reading glasses for everything, and I forgot my reading glasses, so Mimi always comes prepared, of course. So she gave me her reading glasses. Do I look like Mimi now? Do I have a little bit? Thanks. Yeah. I feel like Mimi now. Do I look pretty? Yeah. So I was through guidance. That was my talk last week. So this week they asked me to pick something for guidance as well, and I chose the poem "The Road Not Taken" by Robert Frost, one of our greatest poets in America. So I'm going to try and read that to you. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Let's sing Day by Day now.
Day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day, by day, by day, by day.
Our next reading is on prayer, one of my favorite topics, and it's from one of my favorite books, The Universe is Calling by Eric Butterworth. Jesus' teachings about prayer are plain and simple. Jesus clearly said, your Father knows what you need before you ask him. The implication is, why ask? This leads to one of the most challenging points in the entire prayer process. Don't ask, claim your good. Affirm the truth. God, the whole of God mind, is ever present. God is always centered in you. You need to become centered in God. Now the question might be asked, if prayer is silence, then why isn't my prayers always answered? Prayer is always answered. But the question, like the results of a scientific experiment, will depend not on what you're hoping to achieve, but on the laws governing the elements you have put together. You may be praying for prosperity, but combining prayer with attitudes that make for poverty. You may be seeking healing through spiritual means, and yet you may be combining this with attitudes that make this illness. Again, all prayers are answered, though the answer may be accepted at the level of your consciousness. According to your faith, be it done unto you. You see, in prayer, we are always dealing with consciousness and not with some miracle attempt to bypass it. You may be thinking, I've been studying truth, and I know that I'm where I am because of my consciousness, but I'm hoping that God will lift me out of my dilemma and help me or heal me. But God can do no more for you than he can do through you. Again, God can do no more for you than he can do through you. There is a cosmic counterpoint to your need that is perfect, and within you is the unborn possibility to release it. In other words, God can't lift you out of the gutter, for your in the gutter experiences is your self-definition at that time. But you can't get out of the gutter when you begin to think out of the gutter thoughts. There is a better life for you, but it is not something that will be bestowed upon you when you get in divine favor. It is always yours to unfold. You may have an urgent need for guidance and may be hungry for something or someone, perhaps divine mind to tell what to do, where to go, how to choose. Emerson says there is guidance for each of us, and by lowly listening, we will hear the right word. But you see, the guidance is not a specific word or direction. It's a principle of the ever-presence of divine knowingness. Lowly listening implies turning into your own cosmic flow. It is not predestined for you to go. It is not a predestined way for you to go, or something God insists that you do whether you want to or not. God's guidance is the immanence of divine mind that is present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. So guidance, the clear direction in whatever you may be doing, is always present, and the important decisions are not to be made, but to be discovered. Seeking guidance is not waiting for some answer or help from the outside. It is waiting for the intuitive flash and then moving your feet. Prayer works according to and within your own consciousness. It can be strengthening a means of lifting up your consciousness, but the effect will be determined by the level of your consciousness. Prayer is not conditioning God to your needs, but conditioning your needs to the activity of God. For example, healing is simple, the releasing of the divine potential that's always present. When we pray, God does not go anywhere or come from anywhere, and you don't go anywhere. You simply remove the blinders from your eyes. So let us pray. Return within to the divine mind and the universal laws of infinite potential. From this expanded state, we release all that is hindering our understanding. We patiently wait for our intuitive knowing to be revealed to us, and then commit to following this inner knowing in a manner according to our understanding or level of consciousness at this moment. We claim the goodness and grace of God that is always with us, and we are grateful for this unfolding and rest in the assurance that the ever-present qualities of the divine are always within us. And so we let it be. Amen. Now join in singing when I pray.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
This next reading is on universal divinity. And when we speak of universal divinity, we're speaking about oneness or the allness of God. So there are two sources for this reading today. The first one is from Discover Your Divinity by Linda Martella Wissett. And the second one will be from Practical Metaphysics by Eric Butterworth. The phrase, I am, is our spiritual name when declared in a state of spiritual realization. Known in New Thought as God consciousness or Christ consciousness, and taught by Charles Fillmore as the God-man or true spiritual human, the I am is the metaphysical name of the spiritual self as distinguished from the human self. In his classic New Thought text on prayer, The Universe is Calling, Unity Minister Eric Butterworth instructs, quote, when people heard Jesus saying, I am the light of the world, they thought he was referring to himself, that he was announcing that he was God or God's special agent. But he was simply affirming the truth or throwing the switch. He made it clear that each of us must also affirm the truth. The true affirmation is, I am, unquote. When declaring I am within spiritual practice, we are acting from spiritual authority, activating spiritual power. We are enacting the law of mind action, dwelling upon truth so intently that every dimension of being realizes it. The greatest mind action is to pivot away from the sense of ourselves as only human and toward an awareness of our divine identity. This is not to leave our human identity behind, but to integrate our divine nature, divine human. We are fully human, yes. This we acknowledge, but we are fully divine. The I am teachings are the hallmark of unity. And as Charles Fillmore explains, quote, now we accept that there is one universal spirit, and I am the offspring of that spirit. That is the equivalent to saying, I am Jehovah, I am Christ. We're beginning to find that just to the extent that we come to a realization of this Christ in us, do we demonstrate it, and you begin to demonstrate your demonstration wherever you are. You can take it in small bites. You can say, I am life, and you will get life. You can say, I am love, and you will get a manifestation of love, larger than you ever could have before. You can say, I am strength and power, and whatever you need, unquote. Notice in this passage that Fillmore mentions just to the extent that we come to a realization of this Christ in us. To say I am and to mean I am Christ is in some circles blasphemy. Understandably, I say I am Christ or I am God is big. It's hard to swallow. That is why we would never say when we believe what we believe Charles Fillmore meant to say. He never said out loud, I am Christ or I am God. What Fillmore did say is that we come to a realization, which is like saying awaken to the spiritual reality of our Christ nature. Through practices such as prayer, meditation, and study, we take in small bites. We build upon an expanding consciousness of spiritual integration. All the ways you might describe the nature of the divine are descriptors of your own divine identity. As we expand our understanding of God, we may feel as though we have lost our God. The God we lose is the deity that we were taught to love and to fear, the deity who would reward and punish, endanger and rescue us. Frankly, while we may not miss the downside of God, we may grieve the loss of a deity we imagined was always looking out for us, loving and protecting, warning us of trouble ahead, and scooping us up out of it when we had not listened. When we let go of that God, or our understanding of God in that way, we begin to claim responsibility for our divine humanity. We take to heart the prime principle, oneness, and admit that God and I are one. Here's one way to think about it. God is love, not a loving deity, but love itself, the power, the principle love. God, the principle of love, is not separate, sentient being behaving in human ways. God, the principle of love, is the invisible, absolute truth, the love within us and all around us. In the state of oneness, we can claim this principle, affirm, I am love, recognizing love with our being. As human beings, we act in relative circumstances, which means we can be loving, we can love, and we can experience love. Acts of love become visible demonstrations of the principle of love, that I am. And from the second reading, our relative human minds have no grasp on oneness. We like the thought of oneness, maybe have periodic mystical moments when we experience oneness. However, we struggle with the idea of oneness, full of argument against it. We grieve over the loss of deity God. We believe that were we to claim I am, we would denounce our human self, or we would fear being labeled blasphemous. Unable to imagine ourselves being all that is, we believe we are none of it. Charles Fillmore emphasized that we can rightly claim our divine identity, and I quote, "It's our mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let this be your standard achievement. Never lower it, nor allow yourself to be belittled by the cry of sacrilege. You can attain everything you can imagine. If you imagine that it is possible to God, it is possible to you," unquote. The greatest discovery of modern times is, although the life of mankind in the world is incomplete and imperfect, there is a perfect world. This is true regardless whether you see it or feel it. We are forced by hidden instinct to reunion with parts of the larger heart of the universe. In other words, this explains this instinctive urge to know God. From the beginning of time, there has been this compulsion, this urge this hunger, this desire to find and to relate to transcendence. This is something that is found in every primitive people, no matter where. There has always been this urge for transcendence. God is presence, all present, now here. The only way I can know God is to know that expression of God. The only way I can know God is to know myself and to find the depth of myself. I will suddenly find myself at the point where the allness of God is expressing at that point of me. Now let's join together. Tim will be singing One Power and join in the chorus.
One power, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, yet we speak of it with every word we say. Mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me.
One power,
one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes and see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me.
one power,
one power, one power, one power, one power. It's one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace, the freedom of forgiveness, and it's the sweetness of release, joy of inspiration, the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations, and it's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's the love that is most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. It's what we are, is one. Ooh, one power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. Ooh, oh, what we are is one.
Hello everyone, my name is Ami Sine, and I am here to talk about self-love. How has self-love changed her life by Anne Hathaway. I had not yet learned to love myself. If you don't love yourself when someone else says horrible things to you, a part of you is always going to believe them. I don't want to believe these people. I don't want to agree with them on any level. I'm going to fight for who I am. I'm going to learn who I am. I don't want to feel like I am fragile every time I leave the house because I am so dependent on what other people think. So I took a step back. It's been a really cool journey. I feel like I have arrived in a place where not every minute of every day, but way more than I used to, I have a tremendous amount of love and compassion for everyone else. And best of all, I have it for myself. Life moves, and you move with it. I figure out how to say thank you to life by trying to absorb the best, by thanking myself, by taking care of myself, and not apologizing for occupying space. Trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, enjoy the beauty of becoming. Thank you.
We're going to put a little love. Here we go.
Think of your fellow man, lend them a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate. Put a little bit of love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me, and me. You just wait and see. Oh, the day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little bit of love in your heart. You just want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me, and me. Just wait and see, wait and see. Oh, take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little bit of love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little bit of love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me, and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart, a little bit of love in your, put a little bit of love love in your heart. God, put a little love in your heart. Put a little bit of love in your heart. Put a little bit of love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little bit of love in there. Put a little love in. Put a little bit of love in. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little in. Put a little in. Now put a little love. Put in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little bit of love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart.
My reading today is from the prophet by Gibran. It's about work. When you work, you're a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns to music. In keeping yourself in labor, you are in truth loving life. And loving life through labor is to be intimate with life's innermost secret. All work is empty save when there is love. When you work with love, you bind yourself, and to one another, and to God. And what is it to work with love? It's to weave a cloth with threads drawn from your heart, as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. It's to build a house with affection, even as if the beloved were to dwell in that house. It's to sow seeds with tenderness and reap the harvest with joy, even as though your beloved were to eat that fruit. It's to change all things you fashion with the breath of your own spirit, and to know that the blessed dead are standing about you and watching. Often I've heard you say, as in speaking in sleep, he who works in marble and finds the shape of his own soil in stone is nobler than he who plows the soil. And he who seizes the rainbow and lay it on the cloth in the likeness of man is more than he who makes sandals for our feet. But I say, not in sleep, but in overwakefulness of noontide, that the wind speaks not more sweetly to the oaks, but to the least of the blades of grass. And he alone is great who turns the voice of the wind into song made sweeter by its own loving. Work is love made visible. Now, I think that's the whole point, and I'm going to read it one more time. Work is love made visible. If you cannot work with love, but only distaste, it's better that you should leave your work and go sit in the temple and take alms from those that do work with joy. If you bake bread with indifference, you bake bitter bread that feeds but half a man's hunger. If you grudge the crushing of grapes, your grudge distills poison in the wine. And if you sing as though angels and not love singing, you muffle a man's ears to the day and the voices of the night. And now let's sing, Use Me.
Oh, use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun. But God's so much more than the earth and the stars, or all of creation. God is creator, all and all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. So as me, as you, so use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Won't you show me all that I must do?
Hello, I'm Mary Mooney, and I'm the final reader, just in case you looked at the clock. Today's reading is an excerpt on peace from Eric Butterworth, and it's from The Universe is Calling, the book that he wrote. What is the meaning of spiritual peace? According to the Bible, spiritual peace, or the peace of God, surpasses all human understanding, and it is the calmness experienced in the body, mind, and spirit, while trusting God's divine power and grace in all circumstances. Grace, as the divine favor, the activity of God's love, is working for you constantly. It is not dependent on any special faith or prayer on your part. Like the buoyancy of water will keep you up even when you want to go under. Okay, I lost my place. You don't have to earn grace. It is not something that comes only for the good. It comes to all alike, because all alike are expressions of God. By the grace of God, a criminal is still loved by God and can still find forgiveness and ultimate rehabilitation in love that transcends the law. And I just wanted to share with you a very tiny story about how I learned about what grace was. I had pondered for 5 years. I was in my early 40s, had been in Unity for 5 years, and I pondered and pondered, what is grace, what is grace? I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get it. And one day I was driving down Whitaker Mill Road, going to work, and a big bird flew over and plop right on my windshield. And I decided in that moment that God was a windshield, or just like a windshield, because it kept the bird poop from hitting me in the face. It keeps the rain from getting in your face and all of the bugs from getting in your eyes. So I decided that God was like a windshield, shielding us from some of the really yucky things that could happen in our life. Now back to Eric Butterworth. Grace is simply a wonderful facet of the activity of God in you. It is not something you must work on to develop. It simply is. It is assurance, an explanation of why things are never quite hopeless and why we never receive a full harvest of the error we make. We are always receiving a little bit more than we can earn or that we do earn. Certainly, we must be willing to accept the responsibility for all that manifests in our lives. But we don't have to get bogged down in the grim, fatalistic acceptance of working out your karma. Truth can set you free, and when you hear, He is healed by God's grace, remember that it is not a special act of God for one person, but a specialization of divine good pleasure that is for every person. There is an upward pull of the universe, ever seeking to lift you up to the heights of your divine nature. It is real, and it is a force that's just like gravity. It is always there. The universe is calling. Are you listening? And now stand, and we're going to sing, led by Tim, the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the love Let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
1, 2.
You got something out of today's service. We intend to bring you things that will help you in your life become more of who you want to be, give you the freedom of forgiveness and the hope of expectancy that your life will unfold in a way that brings you joy, happiness, and is a contribution to the world. If you would like to contribute to this ministry, please go to unitytriangle.org, hit the donate button, and it will lead you into an easy way of doing that. We thank you for your attention and look forward to seeing you again here.